Okay, we have a lamp right here, but it might just be like fading. I wasn't sure.
Okay.
My screen.
Well, it was getting darker as we were going. Oh, this is like night. It's literally night and day.
Yeah, why we have this
I
on
wasn't
the
sure if my iPad went to sleep or what. I didn't want to tap the screen, but okay.
Yep. This is going online. People like, what are you? Who are you talking? They couldn't even see them. Now we can see you guys. There we go.
Not everybody is always on social media with this. We have like, you don't want to see the light in front of us.
But no, you guys are good now.
But no. Okay, so you guys made the hard decision of letting one business go. And around what time was that? If you don't mind, like what year, month, whatever?
January 2023.
So,
okay, so you hung on to that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
She's like, I gave my time.
It was good when it was good, but like I said, we had went over for a long time because we had so many people dependent on us, and we really didn't want to pull the rug out from under them. But you can't make decisions like that. You can't make decisions like that.
Yeah, get it. So really, January 2023, would you say the business then took off at that time once you let go of the daycare, or what started to happen around then?
Very soon after the results for paying, giving our business our sole attention. Mm-hmm. I mean, I said it's just like a baby. Like when we gave it our full attention, it just was like, thank you.
Growing.
Yeah.
Growing.
Why do you think that happens as well? Is like we have something there, and we understand. I think you guys even knew it back in 2021 that you had something there. But what took you so long to say I'm going to give it that attention? Obviously, the daycare was a big part of it, but why not go into that earlier?
I would say just the potential that we know it had, and we saw other people. Not that we gauge yourself against other people, but we saw what it could be if we put our time and efforts into it and money into it instead of putting it to
and not just that, but the daycare business was renting from us, the property owners, as well. Yeah. So it was kind of like
double dipping.
Yeah, and we were like, oh man, like it's taking care of our property for us. Mm-hmm. Like it was, yeah. So it was hard to let it go. I think for me, the biggest thing though was the people, because one of the ways we acquired that business was it was the staff and the families from the daycare that closed that I was working at during the pandemic.
So you knew, you had a bigger connection with them than just business.
Right.
Okay. So that made it hard, understandably.
What principles did you get from that daycare that you transferred over to the cleaning business?
Relationships, and not like boundaries, but not like with no boundaries. When I say relationships, I mean paying attention to the people that we work with. Because when you're dealing with people's children, that's their most precious thing. And one thing we saw was like during the pandemic, we had like essential workers, and that we were working with families that were like, it was just so much going on with families. We had to pay so much attention to families, the stress they were under, the financial pressure they were under. And our daycare, like any other daycare that was able to stay open during that time, we were an answered prayer for a lot of families. And so just that compassion piece that we brought over to cleaning, like, we're really helping. We're still helping families, even with working with our cleaners. Like they have families. So just paying more attention to the people, and
relationships
relationships was a big one. And with the daycare, I was able to be like super creative. I love creating curriculum and just doing like all fun newsletters and things like that. So I brought a lot of that kind of communication or email list and stuff like that to the cleaning business. Whereas before, I don't think I thought about it like that as an opportunity for me to be creative with media and stuff like that. So
I think it's important what you said, because a lot of times people always ask, well, why would someone continue to work with you? And I'm like, simply treating them like people. And people are like, right, duh. And I'm like, it's not a duh thing, because especially in this field, they face a lot of people that don't treat them that way. Even when they go into somebody's home, people are looking down on them. And so just simply checking in on them, simply Happy Mother's Day, simply Merry Christmas, little things like that goes a long way. Like it's a professional relationship, but just like how you feel like your job, right? You don't want it to be so transactional. So we try to have people kind of think of it in that way. But the transferable skills, I think, is important, because Anthony talks about that all the time. Just like with him being a director at his company and then being a full-time entrepreneur, what that looks like. So
So I told Alana. I'm sorry. I told Alana the other day. we had one of our cleaners that rocked with us at the beginning, and she was like one of the only cleaners we had at the time. And she moved in from out of town. We probably talked about it in the last podcast, but but she was excellent. All 5 stars. Everybody loved her. She really got our business off the ground. And then she moved an hour away, and she grew her own business to where she didn't really need to take our cleans anymore. Last week we get a message from her, hey, I got some openings if you get anything within an hour driving distance.
Yeah.
I know y'all was hyped.
And I said, that's how you know you're doing a good job, when your cleaners will come back.
Yeah.
Yep.
She keeps coming back. So then whenever she comes back, we drive all like marketing to like her region.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, we got somebody to, we push them all towards her because she's a rock star. She's our favorite.
That's amazing.
So I was gonna say, let's catch up to 2023 maybe.
That's where they at.
And after we got rid, after the daycare and we went all in on the cleaning business, what did all in for you guys look like? Because I think in 2021 we spoke. I think you guys were kind of in, but what did all in look like for you once we closed on the daycare and we're like, all right, we're going the cleaning business thing. We know it's unlimited potential. What does that look like for you guys?
So one thing that we did was we went, this is where we kind of stepped into the commercial side more. I think we're in the.
And I was fighting.
Yeah, she didn't want to, but
I said that's not what they taught us.
but we had mentioned in our group that we had an opportunity to do some housing cleans for the university and do some turns. So that was like 500 to 600 units, and they needed them all turned in within like a 2 or 3 week span. That kind of
how they find you?
Google local service ads.
So they found. Can you walk through that, please? Because people may not understand. So you were doing residential, but a commercial property found you.
Yes, they keep finding us. So we're not advertising to commercial properties. They keep finding us. We are using Google local service ads.
They call us and they ask us, they want to make sure you have all your workman's comp insurance and your general liability. They even want automobile insurance. I keep trying to tell them our company don't have cars, but they still want automobile.
You got a car?
I was like, I'll send you what I have, but
I ain't gonna be there.
But that really fell through because of the workman's comp. I was nervous about that because I have a friend that's an insurance agent. He was telling me you got to be careful with that because if you underestimate your payments on workman's comp, it can come back. And they do it like a review at the end of the year. And if you're underpaid, you're gonna owe them a fat check. So I was nervous about that. So that deal actually fell through. But then we found something that worked, and we went with that insurance. So now we can clean apartments, apartment complexes when they have turns. So all types of commercial opportunities came our way.
So when you got that call from the university or school, like what was that conversation like? They called you and like, we're from such and such. Was you like walk me through that?
They want to meet in person. So that's one thing. That's one of the reasons why she said she's always reluctant with the commercial side. They want to meet you in person. They don't like over the phone. You gotta come look.
Of course not.
They want you to come look at them and meet you in person. So the first thing he did was he was just asking if we're open to it and can you meet in person. That's the first thing. So I went down and met him at the property.